To Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim brothers and sisters. I hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick video I'm doing. Recently I just finished watching Brother Dilly Hussein's podcast for Blood Brothers, 5 Pillars with Sheikh Imran Hosein. And in the interview, they talked about many things. Now, this is not to talk about the full interview, but my thoughts regarding a particular portion, which is when Brother Dilly Hussein asked the Sheikh Imran Hosein, regarding his controversial, I should say, opinion of about the placing of the tashkeel in Surah Az-Zukhruf, right, regarding the ayat about Nabi Isa alayhi salam, about whether it says he is the knowledge of the hour or the sign of the hour, right? But I'm not here to defend or criticize the position itself. Rather, I think what he was saying, at least from what I'm trying to interpret, from me interpreting what he said, or at least jogging the start of my head, it brings about the bigger conversation about the Qira'at and the state of the knowledge of the Muslimin in this particular time and era. And what do I mean by that? I remember I was online on TikTok one day, and a sister, she was in the UK, she was a popular influencer, and she was asking how she was in the masjid and the sheikh was reciting, right? But the way he was reciting was different than she was used to hearing, and she was just like, it sounded weird. Can somebody please explain to me what was that? So people let her know that this was a different riwayah, a different qira'at that he was reciting in, right? I think it was Khalaf and Hamza, I believe. Is it Khalid or Khalaf? I think it's both with that name. I forget, but it's one of these different riwayah, right? And it brought to my attention that a lot of Muslimin in our modern day and age don't know that there's different ways of reciting the Quran, right? Most of us are just familiar with Hafs and Asim, right, which is the most popular one, the one that most people are used to, right? But it's many different. I believe there's 10 that are verified, and then 4 that are like the smaller, not as verified. But either way, you have Warsh, which they recite a lot in Africa, especially North Africa. Warsh. You have Qalun, you have Susi, you have Duri, you have many different ways of reciting the Quran. These 10 different ways, right? And most Muslimin, if you went somewhere and you recited in Warsh or Qalun or Susi, right? Fatiha is, some of them is a little different, right? Some of them is like, if you really listen, you'll catch. Some, if people aren't paying attention, you won't really catch, right? But when you recite other surahs, that's when you see the difference, right? And then people are like, wait, what is this? So back to, how does this tie to Sheikh Imran Hosein's point? It makes me think, I wonder if what he's saying is, Allahu Alam, I wonder if what he's saying is, he's not saying, because he clearly says that he doesn't believe the Quran is wrong or that it has imperfection. He believes it's perfect. What he's saying is, it's a mistake that in our society of the Muslimin, or you know what? Let me put Sheikh Imran Hosein to the side. Let me say this. I wonder if it's a mistake in our society of the Muslimin that the only riwayat that we know is Hafs and Asim, right? Because is water just as valid as Hafs and Asim for Quran? 1,000%. If you pray in it, 1,000% valid. Qalun, 1,000% valid. Susi, 1,000% valid. Duri, 1,000% valid. So all of it, right? It's all valid. But yet and still we only know one. But with the ways of the different ways of reciting, it can slightly change the meanings of some of the words. Not in a big way, but like just little things, right? So for example, I think in Warsh, they say Maliki Yawmiddin. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's Maliki instead of Maliki Yawmiddin, right? Which one of them means the king versus the other means the owner of the day. One is the king of the day of judgment. One is the owner of the day of judgment. Either way, a king is an owner. An owner can be a king. It's the same thing, And because of the beauty of the Arabic language, of them sharing the same root, it may be different meanings in terms of like the exact landing point, but the root is the same. The overall meaning is the same, right? So it's like, with the diacritical marks being in the Mus'haf, for us who are not born Arab or who don't know Arabi, to learn, to recite properly in that Qira'at, but with us having Mus'hafs that it only has this, then it leaves us without knowing what the others may say, the other riwayat, right? And not just that, since most of the ummah today, at least in our modern time, don't know the Arabic language, in particular Fusha, right? We don't know there are other ways of saying these words. We just know off of A, the riwayat we know, but B, also the interpretation, or the interpretations, because you can't really translate the Quran fully 100%, right? But the interpretations that people who have studied render us to. We're just held to whatever interpretation, whatever interpreter or translator, for lack of a better term, uses. So Yusuf Ali, whatever he deems this, or Marmaduke Pickthall, or Muhammad Assad, or Sahih International, whatever they deem, okay, this is what you believe to be the best estimate, right? Because it's all like estimation. It's not 100% definite. Nobody can tell you it's 100% definite. We're just trying to do our best to get to the most accurate spot. But with that being said, it's like the ummah itself, because we don't know we don't know the Arabic language, and then we don't know the different ways of reciting it, we are rendered blinded to the other meanings that could go into different ayat. And then that closes, or it makes unavailable, the realm to which we could think, like the possibilities of which could come from an ayat, where we don't have those to us. So it's like, this could mean this, but we don't even know that's a possibility in the first place, right? Because we don't know this. So I think this just further emphasizes, at least for the younger generations, in particular to myself first and foremost, our importance as far as studying the Deen itself, in particular learning the Arabic language, preservation of the Quran, learning as many Qira'at as we can. If we can have people who can learn more than one. If you're already a Hafiz now, please go out and learn another Qira'at if possible. You know, let's preserve this. This is our tradition. This is our science. This is our Islam, you know. Because Warsh is just as valid as Hafs. Hafs is just as valid as Susi, just as valid as Duri. Like, it's all valid. It's all valid. And we shouldn't look at one as superior to the other just because of what we are used to or accustomed to in our society. No. It's just like the madhahib, right? I'm West African, right? I'm Maliki. I don't know if it stopped playing. But listen, my mom just called me. But listen, I'm West African. I'm Maliki, right? If I meet a brother who's a Hanafi or a brother who's a Shafi, does it mean that they're less than me because I'm not used to them? No, we're all the same, you know? And this is the beauty of Islam, the plurality of routes you can take, but all still connected to the ultimate truth, al-haq, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and His Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-amin. So, you have to let me know what y'all think, man. This is just a hot take. I'll see you guys later, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Oh yeah, also additional bonus point. I think it brings about the question of, why did Hafs and Asim get so popular and the other Qira'at get left behind? That's something for everybody to look into. I'm not saying I know an answer to it. I'm saying, what's the reason? Let's look into it. Inshallah.